Hope it was Power here to review the Kamen Rider Revice DX Volcano Vistamp. So, interestingly, typically, like if we're following 01's release schedule, typically we don't get the link link item 1 and link item 2 within the same month. They typically try to space them out within a month or so, but with Revice, this Vistamp actually took the slot of when we will typically get the quarter 2 rider belt or the winter belt. So I commend Bandai for doing that. So obviously, as you can see here, we got Revive Volcano Rex and Vice Bard Rex. He finally gets it. And then as you can see, the Volcano Vistamp right there. Obviously combine the two. Same thing with Bard. Then everything you can do with Volcano. And again, I actually do appreciate, never mind, they're both Revice the same. That's his hand. That hurt my hand. Anyways, here's the Volcano Vistamp, and this is definitely a really interesting Vistamp. Obviously, it's kind of an inverse of Bard Rex, because now we got the yellow plastic, and we're back to having purple as translucent, and we got this orange hexagonal flame piece, which I really do like. You can flip this down, then we get a thermometer of some sorts, to which we just simply press this to flip back up, and we got this gigantic obvious connector piece. And just again, like with most Revice stuff, I really do like this constant detail that they keep bringing. And as you can see here, the speakers on this Vistamp are actually at the front. Activation button is really flat and solid, really pressy. The back isn't really anything. This is the release button for whenever you connect to Bard Rex. QR code for Gamba Rising. And then bottom, we have the magnet for Volcano Rex, which comparing to Bard Rex, very similar, but it's different. So I appreciate that. So I'm not going to bother comparing it with a normal Vistamp, because we already did that with Bard. So again, activating it like so. And then stamping it with a simple fire sound, which is pretty neat. And obviously, from this obvious slot from there, you can combine the two Vistamps together, which the two will just start lighting up their respective colors. Obviously, we are not there yet, so again, to unlock the two, just hold this down and pull it out. I'll stress this out right away. Like, you have to, like, specifically, I think for me in particular, it's actually getting a lot easier unlocking the two, but like sometimes you just have to press this hard enough that, like, you know, this is not getting like stuck, because sometimes pulling this Vistamp out is really difficult. And I should just say, whenever you have this thing, whenever this button is hitting the button in here, it actually makes the Bard Rex Vistamp just not do any sounds. Yeah, so see, something like this. Like, as you can see, I think technically when you have this kind of like bent like this, temperature. So we'll just jump to the Revice driver. Obviously, the transformation process of this one is kind of a lot, but you know, I think it's fun. So activate the Volcano Vistamp first. Then you're gonna stamp it. And as you can hear from this, no standby. So then you activate Bard Rex. And obviously this one can also Bard Buried. But that never, I don't understand why he never does that. So then you connect the two together. And then you twist the fire to the egg. So then you get the standby of Volcano Vistamp, which is obviously, it's very similar to Bard Rex. So then from this point on, just simply slot in Bard Rex. Obviously, that's the only sound this will do, but this would not know it's connected. So then you simply swing it to the left to transform, because I took too long. Right. So there we get the transformation of Kamen Rider Revice and Vice, Volcano Rex, and Bard Rex genomes, respectively. And I do really like how this looks overall. It's definitely a bit strange. I like, just because now this is hanging out. Now we're in the era of just things hanging out of the driver. But you know what? Like, this is fine because this technically acts like a handle. And overall, I think the colors just work overall because this is still purple. It hides a lot of the yellow, so it doesn't look as jarring. And I really do like the light pattern, because obviously it still carries off the light pattern of Bard Rex. But as you saw from the last few seconds, it actually like stops, but then like continues again. It like does this like really light blue, pink, and then purple, which is really interesting. Also, I really like this illusion of the Rex is shooting fire and such. Also, I just like this thing being an egg cooker. It's just pretty funny. Obviously, now at this point, we actually do have traditional finishers now. So if we just swing this to the right. And then we actually have a remix. Now called the Burst Remix. And yeah, we get that. We don't know what it does because they never use it. So, yeah. That's basically it. So, just simply swing this down, pull this out. Obviously, this doesn't know this is engaged, so simply disengage the two. And yeah, so before we actually get to the individual sounds of this, let's get into Bard Rex's sounds within Volcano. Okay. So just scan it like so. So we actually do get a sound out of Volcano, which is Mera Mera. Obviously, you know from New Soldier, that's burning, which is pretty neat. Let me pick up these hyper key boxes. There goes Trigger Dark. So obviously this thing can be utilized within the Revice driver itself. Temperature. So obviously As you already saw earlier, this doesn't actually produce a stamp by when you stamp it. However, just like traditional Vice stamps, it continues. So there, Volcano actually gives out a different light signal to the Revice driver, which is, essentially a traffic sign. Red, yellow, and green, which is pretty neat. And it's actually pretty cool that they give us a shortened version of the Volcano jingle. I didn't think it was that long, but, it's appreciative. Obviously the same finisher standby. And then the remix. We actually get a new finisher sound, which is supposed to, I believe it's supposed to be in line with the finisher for Bard Rex. Pretty interesting that they changed it. I forgot to throw this, so the thing with the two-side driver where we run into issues is that obviously because of this big connector piece, we can't connect it. However, we can struggle. Like, this still works. We need to connect the two light sensors to each other. So it works. And you can Hisat Shonen. However, it hates it in the Evil Blade. Yeah, I don't see, this is actually working a lot better than when I was trying to film the demo. The demo, I literally had to take this apart just to get it to work. So in the show, they actually did do this one in X. This one, I will say it's a lot easier to press this one, so just try to avoid that. As you saw. I don't remember what colors this actually goes through. Yeah. Oh. So it does go through all colors for the most part, but it stays at its red. I think they... Oh, this is two different shades of yellow, but I think these two actually go well pretty well. They go well with each other. Last but not least, the gun to phone. Again, I don't remember if I do this all in one take or not. And then if we do that again. Yeah, basically that phrase of Vice is basically him saying, now it's my turn. This is Revice. But overall, my thoughts on Volcano is that this is a pretty nice supplement item to Bard Rex. It's the standard like form thing we are used to. I'm kind of getting tired of it, but like I like what this one does. I just like that it's an egg thermometer. That's pretty creative, honestly. And again, just the fact they decided to again stick this within the slot of when we will typically get our winter belt is pretty neat. I'm kind of glad they didn't. I'm glad Revice didn't force one in. At the same time, it could have helped make one of the later items not premium. But like, other than that, what was that? Anyways, like, I like it. Like, this is a pretty nice Vistamp. I think this and Bard Rex obviously go pretty well together. You can get this and Bard Rex in a set together. I would say this is should be the same price as Bard Rex, but I think you could get it for at least 15 off of Mandarake. I at least got mine for 20 off of Mandarake. But so that I'll say that's like the minimum. But like, you know, like the sounds of this one I really like overall. I actually might like them a bit more than Bard Rex. And just the fact this is like a standard, like it literally functions like a standard Vistamp for the most part. It's just that it can combine with Bard Rex. So it's just kind of like, you know, with Bard Rex, it can already do a lot, and just the extra functionality of connecting another Vistamp to it is pretty neat. So that'll have to do this review. So this is Power, and I'll leave it, people. Bye.